This is your First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Kyle Dickens.
And definitely have some rainfall on the way, no doubt about that. We've been dry, actually, here in the Metro Quad Cities. We haven't picked up any rainfall so far this month. That's going to change, though, as we head into the weekend. Taking a look over the next 7 days. This is a 7-day composite of what we could see rainfall-wise. A big old bullseye right over our area, pretty much smack dab over top of the Quad Cities. And once we get into those oranges, that's where we're getting maybe 3-4 inches of rainfall. So again, that is an average. For that reason, the National Weather Service has put out a flood watch. This is going until Monday at 1, but I can tell you'll probably see an extension of that for a good chunk of the area except Bureau and Knox counties there. We are concerned once we get to tomorrow, Saturday, really in the afternoon and evening into the overnight hours. There's a chance that we could see some strong to perhaps severe storms, but I'm really concerned about the potential for training storms. That means one storm right after another in the same area. That could lead to some flash flooding. So flash flooding certainly is going to be a concern. And unfortunately, it's going to come at a bad time. It could be overnight into Sunday morning. So definitely want to have a way to get alerts. And if you're under a flash flood warning, you get woken up so you can take action. Lots of thunderstorm energy with all this heat and humidity, no doubt about it. We're going to see a lot of thunderstorm energy, pretty much pegged out here. That white is just off the charts. But also that potential's there. Maybe some turning of the winds with height. So might see some strong to severe storms and maybe even an isolated tornado possible. We'll be watching that. A few tornadoes, up to 70-mile-an-hour winds possible. Overall low hail threat, but the wind threat is certainly going to be what we watch for here. We still have to kind of get there, and there's some chances that this might evolve a little different. Got a little variance in models, but starting to hone in on an idea of what we could see, and it is starting to agree that we could definitely be in for a pretty bumpy afternoon and evening. We'll take a look at ExactTrack first. Shows temperatures in the 80s. Eventually we'll fall into the 70s, but it's going to be a hard bet to get there. Some hometowns might not make it into the 70s tonight. So a hot to warm night, I should say. Maybe not quite hot, but it's going to be another hot day tomorrow as we head for the 90s. And depending on how much sunshine we see, we could make it up into the low to mid 90s. That's going to really add fuel to the fire. ExactTrack shows maybe about 1, 2 o'clock we see the first wave move through, and then after that it's going to be just wave after wave of heavy rainfall, maybe some damaging winds. Once we get into the overnight hours, it really is going to turn into a flash flood threat almost exclusively. We'll have to watch this. Again, not a good time. 3 a.m., that heavy activity moving through. We get to Sunday morning. We'll still see a little bit of lingering activity. We will eventually dry out briefly. Then more activity arrives once we get to Sunday evening into the overnight hours and into Monday. We're about to embark on a pretty active stretch of weather here, really near daily rain chances all the way through the end of next week. This is another model. I just wanted to show this. It's got a little bit different timing on this, so this is where we're not really locked in on that time, but we're starting to hone in on it being an afternoon, late afternoon, early evening deal, at least that first wave. This is 5 p.m. It's got a line of storms moving through. Again, those could be severe, and look at all that activity firing up off to the west. That will give us some very heavy rainfall potentially. One model here, look at that. This is not good. This is, I will say, this is on the high end. Not all models are going this high, but it is worth showing that according to our in-house model, might see maybe 6 to 8 inches. A little bit more modest totals here for another model, but still some areas picking up 2 to maybe as high as 4 inches of rain. Something we'll have to keep an eye on. As mentioned, this is not it. We'll get through this weekend with the heavy rainfall and near daily chances all the way through the end of next week before we finally dry out. So an active stretch, very summer-like stretch of weather. Temperature-wise, though, we are going to back down those temps into the low 80s. Once we get to the end of the week, though, we start drying things out, and we're seeing temperatures go back right up into the mid to upper 80s, especially once we get to Friday.
We'll still ahead in sports. The countdown to kickoff.